Namo Phat. Thanks so much for joining me for a daily practice check-in. Listen, listen, listen. This wonderful sound calls us back to our true home. The third mindfulness training. Aware of the suffering caused by sexual misconduct, I vow to cultivate responsibility and learn ways to protect the safety and integrity of individuals, couples, families, and society. I'm determined not to engage in sexual relations without love and a long-term commitment. To preserve the happiness of myself and others, I'm determined to respect my commitments and the commitments of others. I will do everything in my power to protect children from sexual abuse and to prevent couples and families from being broken by sexual misconduct. We're reading More Than Mindfulness, Widening the Field of Practice by the Monastics of the Thai Forest Sangha for our Dharma lessons. And we're continuing in a talk by Ajahn Karunadhammo called In This Body. It is also good to contemplate the reason you might pick this practice up along the lines of the Buddha's teachings on the gratification, the danger, and the escape in regard to sensual experience. We all know there's a certain amount of gratification in sensual experience, not just sexuality, but in all experiences of the 5 physical sense bases. It's not to deny that there is a certain pleasure that comes from that, but it's when craving takes over and it's controlling our lives that it becomes an issue. It can become an obsession if taken to its extremes. Also, at its best, it's a temporary form of enjoyment, because it's dependent on certain causes and conditions. It has its own lifespan, which is usually pretty brief, and there is no long-lasting sense of fulfillment and happiness. That's what the danger is. It doesn't last, and it requires constant support to keep it going. With that in mind, one can say, well, maybe there is a better way, a cooler way, to live by helping to settle the mind. So, pick up the contemplation of this very body and see what it is really all about. When sense desire is in charge, it will have us selectively see those aspects of our physical experience that support that craving. For example, if we're attracted to somebody, sense desire will cause us to see what it is that we want to see in a way that supports the desire mind. That's what desire does. It takes control over our attention and notices what helps to support it, to keep it going. So we see what is conducive to attraction and ignore the rest. We must consciously allow ourselves to ignore that which is not so attractive. We learn to adjust our attention in a very soft focus way so that we see things through the blur of our sensual desire rather than through clarity. The 32 parts contemplation helps us to wake up a bit and see things as they are. The body in and of itself, through the lens of clarity, rather than confusion or the soft haze of rose-colored glasses. May all beings be well. May all beings be happy. May all beings be at peace. Namo Phat. Thanks so much for joining me today.